my name is Anneke van der Walt. I'm a MS neurologist and the head of MS and Neuro-Ophthalmology at Alfred Health, and I lead the research group with the same name at Monash University Central Clinical School. So I'm here at ECTRIMS, and a lot of my team are here as well, and we are very excited to present some updates on our work. The posters that we've presented, which have attracted most attention, has really been around cognitive monitoring. We have been working on implementing an iPad or a computerized and web-based cognitive testing battery called MS Reactor for a few years now, and we were very excited to share some of the longitudinal data that we've collected. A lot of this work has been done by Daniel Merlo, who is a very smart PhD student. But what we've been able to show is that over 3 years of testing, with almost 3,600 tests, we can start to see certain people with MS that start to slow down slightly with their processing speed over time. These tests are really simple, and it's based on a computer game where you use soccer balls, and it measures processing speed and attention to detail that can then translate and forms the platform of other cognitive processes such as working memory, short-term memory, and so forth. So we found that over 3 years we can actually differentiate people, about 15% of people with MS that will slow down during this time. And what is very interesting is that you can see that change based on how people perform right at the beginning. People who tend to slow down are often a little bit older, and they also appear to have perhaps a little higher levels of disability, with the average EDSS score out of 10 being about 3.5, which is still pretty mild really, with only moderate disability emerging. So we're very excited to see where this is going to take us, and to try and understand what these subtle changes will mean in terms of correlation against MRI and also against EDSS over time. The other work that we presented is more to do with the validation of these tests. So we were quite lucky in that we could compare the MS Reactor test to the PST test, which is an iPad-based version of the symbol digit modalities test, which I think a lot of people would be familiar with. It's probably one of the most widely used and validated cognitive screening tools. And we found that the MS Reactor test and the SDMT or the PST actually correlated moderately, and that we could and what was also good is that we could show that upper limb function or hand dexterity, which you require to do computerized testing, doesn't appear to affect the results. So that's our cognitive profile, but we also presented some work on safety. So we have been working very hard with the Victorian Cervical Cytology Registry to look at the risk of cervical dysplasia, which of course is caused by the HPV virus and can lead to cervical cancer in women with MS. And what we found in about 300 women with MS is, if you look over a 9-year period, that women that's been exposed to high-efficacy drugs, so that would be ocrelizumab, natalizumab, alemtuzumab, cladribine, fingolimod, Tecfidera, all of those, compared to those who have not been exposed, are at a higher risk of developing cervical dysplasia. These were all low grade, but what it indicates is that there is a persistence of the HPV infection in women with MS on these high efficacy drugs, really emphasizing that we should be taking better care of women on these medications and ensuring that they're having their cervical screening tests, and also considering that they should be included in HPV vaccination programs, which they're not currently included for. So that was the scientific things that we presented, but I was also very excited, of course, to meet a lot of collaborators, and particularly the International Women in MS collaboration and meeting, which has yielded enormous benefits in terms of mentorship for younger neurologists, and also people like myself being mentored by more senior neurologists, and overall just emphasizing that what we can do together in helping advancing science in MS.